but I'm only going to focus in on the hybrid course, the public health course. And so there are two things due this week. Well, it was due last week, but the first is your outline for the project that you're going to do.
Right.
And then the second is your quiz 4. So if I was a student in this class, the first thing I would do is I'd hit the module, okay? And I'd be like, what's this final project about? So in the module, at the very bottom, and I can move this up, and is in week 15, you have to do a project. So the first thing I would do is I would look at the directions. So here's week 12, and there's a video. In the video, you have two choices. You can either do a poster final project, or you could do the hackathon. And then in watching this video, what did you watch the video, right? On the outline?
Right.
Okay. So it's 4 minutes and 20 seconds long. So first I would watch that video. And in the video, what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to ask me questions now about, you're obviously doing the project outline, right? You're going to be doing the library project, right?
Okay. This library project is the outline?
Yes, for your final project, right? You're doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. So then what you're going to do,
So the library project is basically the research for the final project?
Yes, that's what's in the, yes. It says that. Library assignment for the final project. And then there's a rubric in there. And the rubric says library submission or hackathon participation. And so in the rubric, you had to find a peer review article. And in
peer review article, what is that about? How do I find that, or what am I looking for specifically?
Okay, so then you go back to the module, and in the module, there's library project resources. How do you do an EBSCO source for a peer review item? There's a video there showing you how to do it.
Okay.
What is a peer review scholarly work? Maybe you don't know what that is. There's there in the module, there's a library project resources, and it says, what is a peer review scholarly work? So if you don't know what a peer review scholarly work is, there's a link in there telling you what it is. And then there's also a video in there showing you how to do an EBSCO search for a peer review article. It's like short, it does a little brief thing. And so I would watch those two videos. So some people don't know what a peer review article is, and that's why I put that in there, because I could see that half the class knew how to do one and the other half didn't. So that's why I put that resource in there, because if you're going to be in public health, you always need to know how to do a peer review article. If you're going to go into the sciences, you must do you must be able to know how to do that. So what that means is that you need to do a search in EBSCO host, or you could use Google Scholar. That's another resource. And what you do is you check off in the side peer review. So, but watch that video. And what that means, peer review means that something has been vetted by the experts, that this isn't an article from CNN or from a media source or from a database. It is from scientists who've reviewed it. And so that's really important in the sciences, that something is peer reviewed. And a lot of times people just cite things like, they'll say things like, oh, CNN said. Well, that's not peer review. So for your subject that you're doing, you need to find one peer review article. Okay? So that's what's really important. So if you click on the library assignment, there's a video telling you about this, and there's a list of directions that are in the assignment. It says first, So if you click on the assignment directions, it's really important to read the directions thoroughly, okay? Because it's like
Okay.
really explicit. So you can't jump past it at all. So I'm going to need you to go back when we talk again at 10:30. I want to make sure that you read, that you click on this, and then we can talk again at 10:30 and see what you didn't get. So for the poster project outline, you need to complete all three parts of the directions below. First, you need to select your topic. Write in the text area and provide a short outline of the three areas you plan to hit. Remember, look at the rubric. So what are the what's your project that you want to do?
I believe I chose, see, I'm a little confused because of the both classes. So I know for one I chose marijuana, I believe, and the other one I chose smoking,
okay,
or something like that. But I want to make sure that I chose the correct topic.
Right,
I'm not confusing classes.
Okay, so Introduction to Public Health, we are focusing in on community wellness. And every chapter in there is really talking about a disease or something to prevent at the community level. So when you focus in on your project, for public health, you realize it's really about the whole community. So what I've suggested to people is look at your book and align your topic to a chapter area. And that's what I did in the discussion the week before, is I used that discussion last week. That was critical that people participate in that discussion, because I used the discussion last week to make sure that you had a good topic. So go back to that discussion post last week and you'll see me saying, align it to the chapter, think community wellness, don't think disease, right? Specific. So if you chose chlamydia, you'd be thinking about the whole entire community. If you thought emergency response, like one student's doing, I was like, no, if you think of emergency response, look at chapter 31 and think whole community. So if you're thinking smoking, which is a great one because smoking is public health enemy number one, you would look back at that chapter and you would say, hey, I'm going to focus in on smoking at the global level, policy, prevention programs, what's really working here in Kern County, right? So let's take smoking. So you've decided you want to focus in on smoking, right? At the community level. If you look at the other class, I'm not making you do that at all. I'm making you focus in on describing the drug and how it affects the brain. This is not
okay.
And if you look at your book for public health, it's about policy and community level and prevention programs. It's about that. So if you want to, you could focus in on something that won't confuse your brain. So of all the topics that we've covered here in public health, which one did you find most interesting out of all the chapters?
Okay, so then, yeah, I believe I chose smoking, and I did get a thumbs up from you, a go. So, but I was confused on the three topics I was supposed to select. So I believe I was going to select like secondhand smoke, and then use and smoking, and something else I was going to focus on. But now that you're saying this, now it gives me a more broad idea on what to touch on instead of, just this other stuff.
Yeah, and then you're funny, and it's funny because when I talk to students individually about this, I keep telling them to focus in on one thing. You've got to focus. So do you want to do, prevention programs in Kern County for smoking? That could be your focus. Because you were talking.
So basically, my poster project would be on prevention programs on smoking, and then my three subjects would be what?
Okay, so now looking at this, I specifically say there are three subheadings for your outline. If you look in the directions when you get a chance, the first is focus areas described. So you would then describe why youth are, what is youth and smoking? So like what is about this topic area. So if you look at the poster projects from last year, I have examples online. People would say the effects of smoking on teens and that they're at a higher level than the rest of Kern County. Or that if the statistics show that if you get someone before age 24 to not smoke, right, then the chance of them ever smoking would be less than 5%. Okay, so you would describe that focus area of teens and smoking. So look at the examples that I have online. I posted a link to every poster project that has ever been done in the past 3 years. And look at how they did this. They actually said focus area and they described it. Okay. The next bullet point would be, why is this relevant to Kern County? So this is when you would you'd have a heading that would actually say this. And then you would say, you would do it. You would say, and what I'm doing here for your outline is I'm just making sure that you get that you have to do these three top areas. Okay, so first you would get a peer review article and you would upload it. Okay, so that would make sure that you know how to find a peer review article, and that peer review article would be a citation in your poster project somewhere, right? But you at least be able to show me that you know how to do a peer review article, that you're not only doing sources out there. So I would see you citing that peer review article in your first bullet area. You know, why is the focus area described? Like I would, that 5% thing or something about like some medical fact would be, you would need to have in your 3 subject areas. Look again at the poster projects online. Okay. But okay, so first you get your peer review article. You did the topic described. So this would like be in an outline that you would upload. Okay. And then I'll show you an example of an outline that is already posted online. I've provided an example of an outline. Okay. So you have an example. I'll show that to you in a second. And then you should have 3 areas. Okay. And then 1 local data source. Okay. So what I did is I actually provided an example of an outline online. So I'm clicking on that right now and I'm opening it. And this is an outline from a student who did melanoma. She did skin cancer. That was her focus last year. So what she did was, I'm opening it right now and I'm screen sharing it so you can see it. You'll see her outline. She actually does an outline of a rough draft. So she says, she does the poster title, updates, always try to push updates as soon as I open anything. So when I'm going to post this video that we're doing right now online, and I'm like talking to you right now, but I'm videotaping everything I'm saying to you right now. And I have an outline. I posted an outline of a poster from last year. I'm using it as an example. It's in the module. So I just showed the link to it, right? So you will see it, overview of project focus area, and you'll see that she did 4 bullet points. Okay, so your overview of project focus area would be let's go right through this outline. Your title of your poster title, and here's the thing: your poster is really a big PowerPoint that you set up the slide to be big, right? Or you do 4 slides that are this so that you could print out, you would put on a poster later. Okay. So this just shows me that you know how to use PowerPoint to set up a poster presentation. You understand a poster presentation is basically either a big PowerPoint slide to be set up to be printed out on a big slide, big 24 by 36 slide that would be printed out, and it would be a big one. Or you would do 4 PowerPoints that you would print out and you would just glue them onto a poster. Okay. But this is what people have to be able to do. And I've asked every class to do this. So the big difference is that the online class, you need to look out and see how other people have done it. So you can get that that's what you need to upload. So the title of your poster, your project would be, what would be the title of your poster for your project? Would it be Smoking in Youth? You know, just make up
Smoking
something.
in Youth.
Yeah. So
Just something catchy.
yeah, something catchy. Then overview of your
Okay.
project focus area would be 4 bullets points or 3 bullet points that you think are really important for people to understand about smoking in youth. Okay, so when you look at the melanoma example, you'll see that she says there's more than 200,000 cases per year. And then she has a citation for it. So your peer review article might be that citation. Melanoma is a cancer that develops in pigment cells called melanocytes. You would say smoking in youth is a really big issue, and then you would cite it. Okay, so look at her rough draft outline and realize that that's what you need to do. And then why is this relevant to Kern County? You'll see that she actually pulls local data and she puts bullet points in there and she puts local resources in there. And then she has a conclusion. Okay. And then she has what articles did you find in APA format. So for you don't need to think about the presentation at all. But because you won't have the luxury of presentation, you need to make sure that your PowerPoint follows these 3 areas, either in a big slide, big, like you set it up big so you can fit everything in there, or in 3 separate slides that are not text heavy, or 4 slides that you would print out and you'd glue on a poster project. So the only difference is that you need to make sure, and this is really important, I put all these resources in here, that you click through everything. And then you'll see the outline is posted online, and this is the rubric. So this is how I know people are on track or off. It was like literally this week I saw either people were completely off track or they completely got it. It was like, this is the first time in the class where I saw, I was like, whoa. So I'm so happy you called, because this really helps people who didn't get it at all. So you're going to get it now. And I didn't want to out the people who didn't get it, but I wanted to make sure the people who didn't get it realize that they didn't get it. So what you need to do is, I'm hoping that you watch this video and you'll be like, oh, I get it now. So let me show you. There's an example of an outline. Let me show you the module now where all the examples are, okay? So you get it. So now the next thing is that in week 15, this is when all the directions are due. And I linked out to all these directions, by the way. I did. I linked out to them, but maybe you didn't see it, all right? So what you do is you go to the resources, and right there is poster project directions. And you look at the directions for the poster project and see, if you look at the directions for the poster projects, again, I say there are 3 subheadings. 3, focus area, why is this relevant to Kern County, and recommendations, again, in conclusion. Okay. So you look at that, okay? So make sure you look at that, okay? Then the next thing you hit is that you'll see in the directions is that there's a rubric. And you make sure that, again, there are directions here for the poster presentation, okay? And then I'm just going to go ahead and take out anything mention about the hackathon, because what I'm realizing is that the hackathon, and the people who participate in the hackathon, they were with me and they're not lost at all. So I just took out the hackathon out also. By the way, you could totally do a Prezi. If you love Prezis, you could do a Prezi. Or if you want to do,
Okay, yeah, I've never done that before.
or if you want to do YouTube talking someone through your poster presentation, you could do that too. PowerPoint has this a wonderful ability of recording too. You can record your PowerPoint presentation and talk people through it too. So, so you could do a PowerPoint presentation. You could do and record it. You could do a Prezi, or you could do a YouTube. So, because if you want to, you could do all three of these. And what you do is you really are ensuring that people really get this. So I just updated and took everything out of there because I realized that for anything, your brain should, at this point, for the power, I'm moving right now to the PowerPoint. Okay, so let's see here. So the poster presentation. So I'm going to edit this. I'm taking out or hackathon.
Okay. Professor Barron, I apologize. I have to go, but I will totally review your video when I get access to a computer, and then I'll give you a call if that's okay.
Yeah, do that again at 10:30. And then what I'm going to do is before I leave here, I'm going to keep talking, and I'm going to show you to the examples from last year of what a good poster presentation looks like. All right?
All right, sounds good to me. Thank you so much for all your help.
Great. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show in the modules, especially this video is really for those people who are doing poster presentations. I'm not worried about week 13. So these are the poster presentation directions in week 15. And then here's the final upload. And then here's tips for this. But I also want to show you that these are website examples. And this is what people did last year. Oh, great. It didn't link up. So let me make sure that it links up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out to here and I want to show you here are examples from last year. These are people doing poster presentations from last year. This is an example of someone using a PowerPoint slide. Do you see how they used a PowerPoint slide? What they did is they set the slide up really big. And do you see the focus areas? There's the overview of the project, the focus area. Why is this relevant to Kern County? And there's the conclusion. They have it all on one big slide. Okay? Here's another big slide. Do you see how they did it all on one big slide? And you're probably thinking, how do they do this? They set up the margins to be really, really big. So 24 inches by 36 inches, okay? But if you're like, I don't want to do that, you could do this. This is an example of someone, how they did it in a Word document. But see how small that is? That's too small. You want to make it big. See how they did this big? So big slide. So I'm going to find an example of how someone did it using a PowerPoint slide. A good one. Let's find a good one. Yes, you want big, not small. So let's see if I can find a good example. So this person did use Word and printed things out, but for your PowerPoint, you could do overview and then put small bullets in there, bigger bullets, I meant to say. Let's see here. I'm still looking. I still like this one the best. This is a perfect example. So I think your brains hopefully are getting that if you set up the PowerPoint really big, it can do this. If you're doing a Prezi, you would just have a Prezi overview of the project area and zoom in. Why is this relevant to Kern County? Zoom in. And conclusion, and zoom in. And if you're doing individual PowerPoint slides, you would make sure that your slides would be overview of project focus area. And the big question I would want to ask back is, do I need to do only 3 slides? No. You could do up to 5 slides, but realize if you were doing this in real life, you would need to make sure that your slides were big and that you could print them out and glue them on a poster board. Because if you did them small, what happens is that people can't really read it. So you need to make sure you always either set up the PowerPoint really big. See, this is too small font. It's very hard to read. It's okay because this person, you can step up close, but in real life, you want your PowerPoints to be big so that people can read it. See how the font's really big? So this person really set it up to be big. Again, big font. Again, set up the PowerPoint to be really big. And the PowerPoint tips that I give is 24 inches by 36. Hey guys, you don't have to worry about printing this out on a poster plotter, but you do need to make sure that it's big. And if you want to split up the slides, like this person did this, you could split it up. Overview of project area, relevance to Kern County, conclusion. But again, I want to stress that you don't do small font. And what you could really do to make, since you're not going to be in person, I would really highly recommend that either you record your PowerPoint, which you can do. You could do a YouTube of your PowerPoint talking through things. You can do a Prezi and lead people through things. Or if you decide to just upload the PowerPoint only, maybe do notes underneath so that you can lead people through, okay? But look at the examples that I provided from last year. Okay, so again, back to your deliverables for this week. And I'm gonna make sure, we can do this right now. I'm gonna make sure that you are going to these examples right here, and you're looking at the bottom of the page. Control C. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm going back to the class. And you guys don't have this, the face-to-face option. The face-to-face in-person got this, and I don't think, I wanna make sure that my hybrid, my non-face-to-face class is getting this. So I really am hoping that you guys watch this video all the way through. I'm gonna stress that you need to do this. If you're doing a poster presentation or doing a PowerPoint to do a poster presentation, I'm gonna post this video here, and I'm gonna stress that you need to go down to here. And then I'm gonna make sure that I pull this up. And then these are the tips. And I'm gonna hyperlink this video back into here again, okay? So I'm gonna do it back into here. So I'm gonna put it right here, guys. And I'm gonna even do a bigger call out for it. Examples of poster presentations here, okay? And I'm gonna make it really big. I'm gonna pull it up here. And then I'm also gonna do it up again in the outline because I wanna make sure that you guys see this. Right here. These are examples of So you're going to look at these, I'm hoping. And then you're going to make sure that you either do a PowerPoint with 3 to 4 slides, suggest recording it. You can hit record, a YouTube talking through PowerPoint slides, a Prezi on PowerPoint on with the 3 headings. You get it now, right? 3 headings. Or I can't think of it. Oh, one big PowerPoint slide with all 3 headings in it. Okay, questions? Canvas mystery. Now, this week you don't have to do all of these, but you do need to get your outline done. Your outline will be around the 3 headings that are in the rubric and everywhere, okay? So I'm hoping you get that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to post this also up in this week and in the week last week. Oh, there's a typo. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to post this also up by the outline so you can go back to it. And then I'm going to also post this video too, and I'm hoping you can watch it all the way through. So this week, the outlines are going to close. So what you need to do is make sure you get your outline to me, because you should be going this direction. If you're not going this direction, I need to re-guide you again, okay? But the outline examples, again, I showed you where there was an outline example. And what I'm noticing is either people are getting it or not getting it. If you're not getting it, don't stress out. I'm going to get you there so that by the final week when you upload this, you will be okay. This outline was to make sure that you were okay. If you don't submit the outline, then I don't know if you're okay or not, or if you're confused, okay? So if you're confused, this is the time you need to make sure that you get back on track and that I got you going the right direction for your final project, so that when you submit it, you're going to have an A project, okay? And there's a hard deadline with this final project. So you want to make sure you get this outline in. Do you feel me? All right. So I'm going to end this right now. I'm going to post the video and you're going to watch it all the way through. And then if you have any questions, you're going to make sure that you're good to go. So this week, your goal was to get an outline in. Okay, so right here, this is week 12. Last week it was due, and you'll see that I'm going to keep it open right here until it was due on the 16th, but I'm keeping it open till the 23rd. The reason why I'm keeping it open till the 23rd is so that I want to make sure that you have your outline posted, and that either you were participating in the hackathon and you uploaded everything, which, by the way, the hackathon people did exactly what you guys are doing right now for the library assignment project, for the final project. And you're submitting, if you're doing the library project, which I know you, at this point, we're going that direction, you submitted a peer review article. And if you don't know what a peer review article is, you're going back into the module. You're making sure that your topic is public health related and that it's focused. And then you're doing the outline on the 3 topic areas that are going to be due at the very end. Do you see how I'm making you do that now? So when you submit your final project, you're doing good resources and you're good to go. And I gave you an outline of an example of a student who knocked it out last year and did a great job a couple of years ago. So she has an outline in there. And then I'm making sure you're doing the local data sources, because that's what you're going to need to do for the final project. Okay? So if you have any questions, make sure you let me know. But that's what you need to upload. And right now I have 14 out of 14 submissions. That number needs to get up to the whole entire class so that I know you're doing okay. It's worth 10 points. So if you saw your grade drop, That's the reason why it dropped, because it's showing me that you're not on the right track for the final project, and I need to get you on the right track because this is super important. Okay? Call me, email, Google me. I'm here. I'm here. I'm super responsive. So I'm ending meeting.